Everyone clear their eyes. All right. Honored guests and family, thank you for joining us here today. We're gathered together to celebrate the love of union, the wedding of Abigail and Jeremiah. Again, to let me begin by sharing a chosen verse from the couple. First Peter chapter 4, verse 8. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers multitude of sins. First and foremost, I'm incredibly honored to be sharing this moment with Abby and Jeremiah. It's been a witness to enjoy their journey over the past few years, from their college days to Abby and Jeremiah. Their relationship can survive, evolve. They build a partnership and interdependence that's rare and beautiful. The way they support each other, the way they think together, and they don't just love, they collaborate, they plan, and they build. Watching them walk through decisions, big or small, you see how natural their balance is. In many ways, they are the perfect match. One drains the electricity, and the other keeps it grounded. And now, speaking of grounded moments, the first time I had met Abby and Jeremiah was at Esther's memorial, Jeremiah's grandmother. And it was a day full of emotion and love. And after the service, Grandpa Nelson stood up and gave his powerful speech. Talked about what it takes to grow with love of relay. The work, the selflessness, and the day-by-day commitments. And you could feel how much she cherished the journey with thankfulness. And just as he was wrapping up in true Nelson fashion, he pointed right at Abby and Jeremiah, who were sitting right in front row. He said, "Maybe my grandson and his wife will be here somebody." Hearts are open again. But here we are, just like Nelson predicted, and I can't help but smile. How right he was. Very personal. The story of Abby and Jeremiah. In 2020, Jeremiah and Abigail started dating out. They were oceans across from each other when they started like each other's profiles. Soon the text became FaceTime became many days. However, interestingly enough, after a few days, Abigail realized it wasn't the friend she had saw Jeremiah. She actually recognized his TikTok mix called Yellow Hearts over a year before they even met. In those moments, she felt the red string with her. And then there's a little red thread that connects people who are destined together regardless of time, place, and circumstance. And as Abby wrote, after putting the pieces together, I truly felt God was bringing my love to the without ever knowing how to manage it. What were the chances that someone sent me a love that share, let alone a song that had not only moved me, but was remixed by someone else that tuned in to love and to me. There were many moments that made me fall in love with him. I loved how he became the light and comfort through the grim and darkest days. How he then, that at least 50 years even if they were as small as that's been my The thing is, no matter what, I feel loved by this man. No matter how difficult life is, I wouldn't want to go through this. And the smile, laughter, creativity, and thousand of hobbies, this passion for what they And Jeremiah wrote, feels like it was just yesterday. I was young, everyone about to follow me. I erased little did I know I had to freaking that. Nice being shortly. I've always believed the biblical promise asks to pay others to yet experiencing it firsthand still feels like a miracle. In the start, I could tell Abby was something different. She made me. I found warmth and passion. Her love for her kids going to shoot. While Abby made me feel like I am the one teaching her the truth that she has taught to someone. She has opened my heart teaching me to do in ways I have not felt. She has taught me balance. Previously, I strived to work more. She built me up and edified me to become my best self. Abby is a true blessing. Her bright personality is why I see her as a star. A light, living light, that is my sunshine. And I am grateful, eternally grateful for this experience more really. Which brings us to this look around at what your union has brought to celebrate this union of Abigail and Jeremiah, we will read passage from 11 to American Boy. We will no, about love. When I sink my eye into your heart, or when I sink my eye into your eyes, I catch a glimpse of the dawn, or deep dawn. I see ancient yesterday. I see you what I do not know. And until the universe flowing into my eyes. Her love would have a union, Abigail, Jeremiah. Please be with God. Abby, my love for you truly cannot be expressed. To speak of all that you are, I would be out of touch. But in this moment here with you, I will certainly try. Please forgive my stammers or if I stumble or cry. You are a light that makes my heart full. One of compassion that makes love grow. You are my everything, not just a wife as a role, instead my other half that makes our love whole. I vow to speak the truth, understanding that love must be built on a foundation of trust. I vow to be strong for our family, to be fully dedicated and provide as a mother. I vow to stay by your side no matter what, when life is good and unjust. And I vow not to be self-centered. After today, there is no longer an I, but the you, us. I vow to be present with love and an open hand. When you are weak, I will be your support until you can stand. I promise to be patient, not to invigorate emotions that demand. Finally, I vow to be only yours until the end of time. Abby, I will always be your man.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Jeremiah, when I look at you, I see 1,000 lifetimes in memories. Since the beginning of our relationship, you have called me your sunshine. And to me, your love has always embodied for me. Your devotion, affection, passion has always been a guiding light for me through the darkness. Your love not only grounds me, but shapes me into the best version of myself. And I am forever grateful that I found my moon in a world that concealed dark entrance. As a little girl, I always questioned if finding a soulmate was possible. I always fantasized about the idea, but never really thought it would be a reality. My little mind couldn't fathom the idea of marriage, let alone someone loving me unconditionally till the end of time. But with you, unconditional love is a reality. Your patience, compassion, humor, warmth, creativity, and the entirety of who you are is something that I will love unconditionally. You have loved me on my sunniest days and have loved me on my cloudiest. I'm thankful that I can feel safe and loved by you all at the same time. Jeremiah, I vow to protect you. I promise to protect the beautiful person that you are. I vow to encourage all the thousands of passions that you have and uplift your creativity. I vow to be kind and patient with you, even when we feel asleep. I vow to be your sun in your darkest days. And lastly, I vow to love you for all that you are, from the present moment and beyond. I wanted to close my vows with a poem that I wrote for you. Words can't really explain how I see history in his eyes, but I do. When we first met, it was as if our souls felt completely seen. Like our past lives have served eternity for one another. And they finally meet. And I only hope that when we leave this lifetime, may our souls find each other again. I love you, Jay.
For those beautiful words, and ring bearer and Providence, I have to raise the juice. Your mind, repeat after me. Abigail, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love. I love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. Today, tomorrow, and for all the days. Today, tomorrow. Abigail, repeat after me. Your mind.
And I
Ring as a symbol of my love.
love my love.
Love you unconditionally.
I love you.
Today, tomorrow, and for all.
Today, tomorrow, and all.
These rings symbolize that marriage is forming a never-ending circle of love as it may. Now, before we make this official, let's seal this with the words that bind not just the heart, but the soul. Jeremiah, you take Abby to be your wife, stand beside her, support her, and grow with her through all life captures. Abby, you take Jeremiah to be your husband, to stand beside him, support him, and grow with him through all life captures.
I do.
By the power vested in me in the state of Minnesota, and more importantly, by the love, respect, and deep connection you all witness here today, I now pronounce you husband and wife and make this event. I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Broadway.
Pick it up, Jeremiah. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
It's hard to walk on the grass, right? It's a digging in the
Red or white? Yeah. Thank you. Sonic Bob.
Oh, I want one of these actually. Thank you.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the groomsmen! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Broadway! Give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Broadway. It's time. It's time to toast, everybody. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to some very special people, Leah and Andrew, to lead us into the toast. So have a seat, you two. Here we go. Please stay here. Please stand here. Oh, they're not on? Oh, they were asking me a question. There we go. All right, here we go. We should be good now.
All right, there we go.
Sorry.
Well, it's not going to be an immediate toast, so relax
Here we go.
a little bit. First of all, thank you so much for everyone who came here today. It is greatly appreciated, and especially for those of you who had to cross continents and oceans to be here. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So, with that, I'm going to do my best to get through this without screwing it up or breaking down. But I went back and forth on this at least 100 times and rewrote, stopped, rewrote. And then it came to be, remember all the long conversations we've had through the years, deep philosophical conversations, which usually wound up with me giving you some bit of advice on what I've learned over the years. And then it struck me, what do dads love to do? Besides tell stupid, horribly jokes. We love giving advice, especially to our kids and to whoever will listen. So, if I think about it.
You got it.
Can you move over or just like it there? Oh, you're fine.
You're good now.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah.
Where was
Thank you. Thank you.
Advice, yes. A little bit of advice. Help me remind you of where I'm at. Maybe later. So, we're thinking about the topic of marriage. I could think of 20 or 30 things advice-wise, but let's just keep it to 3 so people don't start throwing stuff at me. So, first things first, embrace change together, right? If there's one thing I can tell you is that life is going to change. You're going to change. Change is good. Don't worry about that. Just remember what happens to one happens to the other. Do it together. That way when the bad changes come, it's much easier to get through. When the good changes happen, it's so much better. B. The second one, or B, communicate, and communicate some more. The other thing about life is it gets extremely busy. Work, family, friends, other obligations, they're going to want all of your time. Children. make sure you're setting aside regular time just for the two of you to communicate. Keep those lines of communication open. You guys do this right, your love, your bond will continue to grow stronger. So, finally, 3. Don't underestimate the importance of the little things. Okay? The big things are great. Stuff like this, birthdays, anniversaries, awesome, do that. But those don't happen that often and they're expected. The key here, inexpensive. The key here is to do little random acts for each other when things aren't expected. Keeps things interesting, keeps things exciting, sustains it. And I would say the nice thing about these three things I've talked about is you guys already do these things. And it's so great to see this starting on a solid foundation. So, finally, I'll say, I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so looking forward to what the future has in store. I love you both so much. And I'll finally say, everybody, please raise your glass. Say God's blessings on you guys for a very long and happy marriage.
I just want to echo what Andy said. There were people that came a really long way to be here, and that means so much to us. But even if you didn't, you took the time to come here. You could have been somewhere else, but you're here. You showed up for Abby and Jerry, and you showed up for love. We're so thankful for you. I just want to say a couple things I love and appreciate about each of you. There are a lot of things, but I want to highlight a couple because I think that these qualities will help you have a long-lasting marriage. First, Abby. You don't give up on anything. When you have an idea in your mind, your career, people, you do not give up on people. You're so fiercely loyal and faithful. That's a really good quality to have. Second, you will fight, and you have the courage to fight for what's right. And sometimes that sounds like a little bit of sassiness, and I think you got that from me. Little funny sidebar that Abby put in our family calendar, don't be sassy to Jerry, every day. And the last is that you have just an ability to be so empathetic and care about people. Whether it's a stranger you just met, another sidebar, Abby will meet a stranger and say, I am so sad I'm never going to see them again. Animals, her friends, her family, Jerry, or characters from The Walking Dead, has a very innate and deep care for people, and she really empathizes. So Jerry, if you know Jerry, he's an awesome conversationalist. I think I heard that today a few times, maybe Zane had mentioned that. You've had a lot of conversations with our family and philosophy, how we think about things, how we feel about things. And what I love about that is that even if someone feels or thinks differently, it doesn't bother you. And so much in today's society, people just don't engage with people where they don't believe what they believe. And you're just such an admirable person for that. Even if you have to stay up late and have debates with me that make absolutely no sense. We had a debate about NATO, and he was like, what about NATO? And I said, exactly, Jerry. We weren't even talking about NATO. I don't know what that came up. And you are just generous and giving to everybody, or not just to Abby, but everybody around you. And you're extremely patient and calm, which I think Zane mentioned, was it the fire and the something?
Electricity.
Electricity or something. And that is definitely a quality that Abby definitely needs. I've seen that so many times when you work through life's challenges. So my prayer for you is that when you have those life challenges, and you know you will, just remember your strengths and what you bring to the table and what each other brings to the table, and you'll make it through.
And likely this is probably one of the best days of your life so far. But my greatest prayer is that you have many more of the best days ahead. We love you.
Up next, we're going to have Alice. Come on up.
So this
Do you think
is
we can
an
switch
amazing
sides?
night. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. And on behalf of both families, we are just so grateful for all of you being here, your presence with us, especially those who have traveled long distances to be with us. Thank you. So as I was thinking about preparing for the speech, confession, I cried in my car this morning. Thank God I cried in my car. I got over it. Okay. But as I was preparing for the speech, I thought about those transformative moments of love. You know, those times when life changes, when you realize your heart is expanding, you see life a little bit differently, you realize the meaning of life. And that definitely happened on June 24th, 1997, when Jeremiah was born. Yay! And I became a mother. You just never understand the capacity of love until you become a parent, especially for the first time. And Jeremiah showing up in my life has always inspired me to be a better person. He has inspired me in so many ways. Okay, the cry in the car didn't work. If you know Jeremiah, you know that he's amazingly curious. He deep dives into everything that he is interested in. And as my son says, he's sweaty. He's a sweat. He's a sweat. Anything he loves, anything he cherishes, anything he adores, he goes after it 100%. I will never forget in Las Vegas, only after a few weeks of being at the skate park, he went down a 14-foot half-pipe ramp. And just as a mother and watching, I was absolutely petrified. But Jeremiah, they say that you know a glimpse of how a man will treat the wife or the partner based on how they treat the mother, right? And I can tell you that Jeremiah has been nothing more than a loving son. He appreciates me. He adores me. And he visits me. Even after he launched at 19. I mean, he started his own business as a teenager and launched at 19. Can we get a round of applause? Not only did he launch, but he is sustaining himself, and he is just all in. And he's been nothing more than respectful, loving, appreciative, forgiving, and compassionate. Now enter Abby. Can I just tell you how excited I am about Abby? So when Abby is in our home, can I just tell you our whole energetic home completely changes. As she walks in, I can hear her voice. Woo! It feels really, really good. Because you all know what she's like. She's amazing. She's compassionate. She's loving. I knew immediately how sensitive she was, but she is sassy. And she's feisty. She kind of reminds me of Grandma Esther a little bit. And I love the way they interact. I love observing them as a couple, and I admire them as a couple. Because you know what? They've been together for a long time, and they've had their ups and downs. And I've had the calls from Jeremiah, you know. And they know how to work it out. They know how to communicate. They know how to work through their differences. They have a lot of differences, and they allow space for it. And I admire them both. And I am so impressed with them both. And I'm just so happy for them both. So I just want you to know that, first of all, Abby, I love you so much. Like, you being in our home and you just being a part of our family, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Would you guys agree? And Jeremiah, I love you so much. From the time he opened up his brown eyes, he captured my heart, and he continues to capture my heart. So let's lift up the glass, and let's toast to Jeremiah and Abby and Jeremiah. May they be an amazing couple and continue to expand in their love for one another and for all. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Next,
I don't know how the way with words, so there's gonna be a lot of pauses.
That's okay.
So as Abby's little sister, I can say, for one thing, that she is a know-it-all. From like the times you just regale environmental issues, and the times you go on tangents about marketing and design, and the times you talk to me about the entire plot of the Game of Thrones. She's always been a know-it-all, and I just remember this one instance when we were younger, and we were at our grandparents' old house, and I was collecting acorns because I wanted to be friends with the squirrels. And he came out and asked me what I was doing, and I said I was going to pet a squirrel, and he promptly told me that if I touched a squirrel, it was going to electrocute me. And because of this, I've always kind of just followed you, so I believe that, and that really took me off the chase. But in hindsight, even though this is just a silly story, I think there is a hidden genius in it, because if you hadn't saved me from possibly being electrocuted, you had saved me from being bitten or scratched. And so that's just proof to me that your know-it-all tendencies come from a caring place for the people around you. And another thing about my sister is how bold and strong in her convictions she is. She thinks what she thinks, and she feels what she feels, and she expresses it all openly after she's had enough time to ruminate on it. And I think that it takes a very strong person to be able to do that. She's the type of person to have that hard conversation and bring up those complicated emotions, like the things that people are usually too scared to do. She does it, and I think that's very inspiring, and it certainly has inspired me through my life. And now that I've admitted how much I admire those traits, I have to say that it made me scared for your future partner. Our family would often, we would talk about and theorize about Abby's future partner. And my mom actually said that she thinks her future partner will have to be a quote-unquote nerd. Yeah, who has some sort of special interest, like maybe in music, which I think is very spooky. But I thought about this long and hard, and I thought that Abby's future partner would have to be some sort of pushover, just because of how driven and how so anyway, when I met Jerry, I was both elated and confused, because he's so polite, and he's so easygoing, and even though he's easygoing, he's no pushover, and I just wondered, and often your guys' opinions and ideas didn't always mesh, so I was wondering how you guys, how that dynamic works, and I've come to realize over the years, how you resolve issues. For one thing, you never leave a problem unaddressed, and whenever you do clash, you emerge from it with a more well-rounded understanding of yourselves and of each other, and sometimes even the world around you. And I think that's something very admirable, and because I think I got my original prediction wrong, because you never needed a pushover, you needed someone that would meet you where you're at and who thinks as deeply as you do, and says what needs to be said even though you're scared, and most of all, someone you can rely on as much as you've been relied on. And I can say that your bond is very special, and I couldn't have happened to anyone more deserving than the two of you guys.
Also, to start with, I am also not that good at public speaking, so I'll have to ask you to forgive me, because I'm starting the speech off with something they say you should never do. A quote. And it's from The Office. Alright. Okay, it's not like weird or anything, but when you're a kid, you assume that your parents are soulmates. And as someone who was once a kid themselves, I can say that that is definitely something that I thought. And though I'm not too far off from being a kid now, I can still pretty confidently say that I think I was right. To be fair, when I was younger, the only concept of romance I had was from my parents, besides like the weird like drama shows Abby would watch. But that's besides the point. Even when I was young and I lacked the maturity or consciousness really to grasp what it was, I could tell that my parents had a special kind of relationship. And even writing this speech now, they have a connection that I struggle to put to words, to be honest. It's easy to see that they have a deep respect and fondness for each other, and their personalities, although different, fit together so well. They never leave the house without a kiss and I love you, which I think is a little gross, but it's sweet. My mom once told me that relationships should be easy, but not easy in the sense that no effort needs to be made to find common ground, but easy in the sense that it's not hard or complicated to love and trust one another. Love is not conditional. Well, when Abby first met Jerry, I was skeptical for some reason. I was being a protective little sister, I guess, which in reality, what was 10-year-old me really going to do? But anyways, as I got to know Jerry, I began to discover that he's actually a genuine, great guy, and now someone I consider to be a part of our family. And I cannot say with 100% certainty that there's no one I'd rather have be my brother-in-law. And now, when I think about it, I see a lot of what my parents have in their relationship. Even when they may not share a similar mind always, their contrasting personalities fit together almost like a puzzle piece. They're constantly helping each other be better, fueling each other's creativity, and supporting their ambitions every step of the way. Before I wrote the speech, I asked my dad what he thought. And if you know my dad, he's an earnest, very emotionally passionate guy. So when he told me this, he spoke with a lot of conviction. You're not going to be the same person you were when you meet the one. I'm definitely not the same person I was when I met your mother. And that's a good thing. My mom feels the exact same way. One time she told me that she never used to say I love you all that much. Now she never leaves a room without saying it. Some believe that change can be a bad thing. And in certain cases, I will admit that change can be unwelcome and even painful. But this kind of change is different. Over these past few years, I've watched both of them become more happy and positive, and I think Jerry's even gained some style. Okay. In short, this definitely could have just been summarized into me saying, I'm so unbelievably happy for you guys. Abby, you're the best oldest sister I could ask for, sorry. And Jerry, I am so excited to have you as my brother-in-law. I cannot wait to see this next chapter of your lives and how you continue to help each other grow into the people you are destined to be. And I'm most confident that if you guys do have children one day, they'll be absolutely right when they say their parents are definitely soulmates.
Time for the best man, Ryan, everybody. Well. Here we are. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Ryan. Tight. About a decade ago, my college roommates We have Chris over there, Sam Tiger, somewhere. They told me they were having a buddy come and stay with us for the weekend up in Duluth, and that man's name was Jerry. Now, there's a lot of great men in this room. We have some loving fathers, husbands, some financial professionals, Chris. But of all of them, I am the best man. Jokes aside, when Jerry asked me to be his best man, I felt honored. And getting to know Abby and Jerry's family and friends a little closer over this past week has been awesome. Now, as many of you know, Jerry is a very passionate man. Whether it's his love for Abby, his joy for making music, or his obsession with things like charts, fractals, and ChatGPT. But my favorite thing about Jerry, as many have said before, he's willing to entertain anything, any topic, any conversation, no matter how silly it may be. And I'm not talking about anything freaky, I'm just talking about whether things... Oh, we're getting a little caught up. Okay, all right, fine. Whether things like angels and demons exist, whether they live on the moon or not, and whether the moon is made out of Swiss or pepper jack cheese. I'm not kidding. If you've ever had a Jerry conversation, you know these things can go on for hours. Well, it can't be Swiss. I mean, we would have seen the holes with a telescope from here. It's a good point, Jerry. Let's talk about this for a couple more hours. Let's really dive in. But the thing that I think is Jerry's greatest attribute is that he is so joyful despite any circumstances. Whether it's some rough family news, personal problems, or I'm just beating his ass in Super Smash Bros. over and over. He always keeps his head up and keeps moving forward. When Abby came into Jerry's life, it made me very happy, because I know that he was looking for a soulmate. Abby fit in with our friend group immediately. Despite how weird we can be at times and the stupid things we like to say, never seem to bother her. I think it's pretty rare to find someone that matches you so well. And my best example I can think of with this is when I would get a random text. Now we're going to switch here. Okay. Gotta get the clear signal. The best example I can think of with these two is when I would get a random text from Abby or Jerry at 4 a.m. in the morning asking if I would like to play Fortnite with them. I'd usually ask, why are you still up at 4 a.m.? And then I would get on Fortnite. Despite the love they share for gaming, what I think really unites Abby and Jerry is their creativity. Jerry has absolutely incredible music, and Abby's artistic capabilities are second to none. I'd also like to thank Abby's family for so generously allowing us to maybe have a little too much fun up at the cabin, up at Lake Island. Thank you, Andy, for whipping me around in the boat on the tube. My body definitely won't forget that. Thank you, Leah, for tolerating all our shenanigans. I'd like to thank Jerry's family as well for being so warm and welcoming. Alice for making incredible food. Great food, some of the best I've ever had. Uncle Jerry, where are you? Back there? I'd like to thank you for telling me how everything is a waste of time. Except fishing. For some reason. And lastly, I'd like to thank Jamel. Where's Jamel? Thank you, Jamel, for putting me onto a cryptocurrency that I can invest in now and supposedly make a lot of money. I'm never seeing that money again, am I, Jamel? No. Throughout all the years I've seen Abby and Jerry together, even in their difficult moments, the one thing I've seen is how much love they have for each other. It's clear how much they both want to make it work, and so it makes me very happy to be here today to celebrate them as they transition into marriage. So now I'd like to ask everyone to raise their glass and join me in a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Broadway, wishing them all the wealth, health, and happiness in the world. To Abby and Jerry, cheers. Put your hands together for these wonderful people. All right. Father and daughter. Up next, Alex, come grab Jerry.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon will be only like we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble.
Applause for us.
Sunshine of my life, I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far.
Ladies and gentlemen,